Good morning, Donview. We are about to begin. Just waiting for your quiet attention. A reminder, this is a solemn occasion, so at no time should you be speaking with your neighbor, anyone around you, and we are not clapping our hands. Take the time to reflect on what is being said today, and please ensure that you are responsible. Thank you so much.
Good morning, my name is Brahms.
And I'm Maria. We're the Master of Ceremonies for today's service.
It doesn't take much to remember our veterans and their sacrifice. It could be just simple things like wearing a poppy and pausing to reflect for a few short moments. All we ask is that each of you just give a little during this time in honor of those who gave so much.
Before we start, we would like to specifically highlight the role of Indigenous peoples who have served in Canada's military and honor them by doing our land acknowledgement.
Dana will share the English version and Ariana will say it in French. Please stand.
We would like to acknowledge that this school is situated upon traditional territories. The territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation, and the Métis Nation. We also recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous people on this land.
Nous reconnaissons qui nous sommes acquis sur la terre des Mississauga, des Anishinaabe, de la Confédération Haudenosaunee et du Wendat. Nous voulons également reconnaître la plénitude de la présence des Premières Nations, du Métis et du Inuit.
Please continue standing as we listen as Nyla and Zoe play O Canada, while the flags are brought to the front by Belinda and Nestor, accompanied by today's special guest, Lieutenant Connie Tang. Miss Amby's class will sign the anthem in ASL.
A reminder, please do not clap during our ceremony.
Please be seated.
Asseyez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Thank you to Miss Amby's class for reciting the anthem and Zoe and Nyla for playing. We would now like to welcome Mr. Niarchos to the stage to open today's ceremony.
Good morning, students, staff, and guests. Today, we gather as a school community to honor and remember the brave individuals who served and continue to serve our country. Remembrance Day is not just about looking back at history. It's about understanding the sacrifices that were made so that we can live in peace and freedom today. At 11 o'clock, we will pause for a few moments of silence. During that time, I encourage you to reflect on the courage of those who fought in wars and peacekeeping missions, and on the responsibility we all share to build a world where conflicts are resolved without violence. The poppy you wear is a symbol of respect and gratitude. It reminds us that behind every name on a memorial, there was a person with hopes, dreams, and loved ones, someone who believed in a better future. As we begin this assembly, let us commit to remembering not only today, but every day, the importance of peace, kindness, and understanding in our own lives. Please remember, this is a solemn assembly. We will not be clapping between performances, but remain silent. Thank you for being here and for taking this time to reflect together.
Thank you, Mr. Niarchos. Ayat and Kiara will now explain why Remembrance Day is celebrated.
This year marks the 107th anniversary of the end of the First World War. This war lasted from 1914 to 1918, and during this period, 650,000 men and women served in Canada's armed forces. More than 1 in 10 never returned.
Canada emerged from the First World War as an internationally respected and independent nation due to the efforts of thousands of Canadians. On November 11th, Canadians all across the country stopped and paid tribute to the men and women killed in Canada's wars and military operations.
The years of the First and Second World War were very dark times for Canadians, yet in all provinces and territories, women and men pulled together to ensure that freedoms we all take for granted were not trampled or snuffed out. Soldiers and vets come from all walks of life. Indigenous people, recent immigrants, Black Canadians, and many others are honored today for their service and sacrifice.
Remembrance Day provides the opportunity for all of us to reflect and be proud of what our ancestors accomplished. The Canadians who died believed in a better future. It is our job to make sure that the future is a future of peace.
Thank you, Kiara and Ayat. We would now like to introduce Lieutenant Connie Tang from the Canadian Navy to say a few words. Lieutenant Tang is a reservist serving with HMCS York. A reservist is a member of Canada's Armed Forces who serves on a part-time basis. HMCS York is a land-based naval base for part-time sailors.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me okay? Not sure. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you today. It's a great gift and honor to be able to talk to young people about Canada's military. I'll again do a quick land acknowledgement. We're here on the traditional territories of Mississauga of the Credits, the Haudenosaunee, the Chippewa, and many First Nations before us. They have special relationships with the land for generations, and that relation will carry for generations to come. Today and every day, we honor the contributions and sacrifice of the First Nations, Inuits, and the Métis people across the Turtle Island as it reflects on our shared history. My name is Connie Tang, and I'm a Lieutenant Navy in the Royal Canadian Navy. I currently serve as as a logistic officer trade at His Majesty Canadian Ship York Naval Reserve Unit down by Bathurst and Lakeshore. My duty is to assist our department head to assist in the matter of finance, HR, food, and supplies. So in other words, I make sure that our sailors are getting paid, they're getting the supplies and transportation in order to do their jobs and activities. Noah, can you please change the slides? We can change one more slide. I missed the first one. Also one more. Okay. So every person who serves in the Canadian military has their own unique history. Some come from the military family. Some are the first to wear the uniform. But all of us made a choice to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And that choice connected us to each other, to the generations of soldiers, sailors, and aviators who have been there for our generations, for our nations in the time of wars and in the time of peace. Each year, during the Veteran Week, we pause to remember and honor the remarkable Canadians who have served in the armed forces. It's hard to believe that some of them are not that much older than you guys sitting here. So these are teenagers who have left the safety and comforts of their home to face danger in distant land. These young Canadians became part of something vast, something securing their place in our history and also in our hearts. The first person I'd like to speak about is Private Leo Major. He's from Quebec. Leo was only 19 years old when he first enlisted in Canadian Army during the Second World War. He deployed overseas with the regiment de la Chaudière and trained intensively in England for 3.5 years. There, after that, he joined roughly 14,000 Canadians who landed on Juno Beach on the D-Day in 1944. That very day, Leo captured enemies vehicle filled with radio transmitter and code boats, which was vital intelligence for the Allied forces. Days after, he lost his left eye to a grenade while defeating enemy. He refused to evacuate and insisting that he could still fight as a sniper with one eye. Leo's determination never faltered, even though he has broken ribs and serious back injuries. He wasn't fighting for glories, however, he has achieved it anyways. During the Battle of Schuld, Leo captured 93 enemy soldiers, survived a landmine explosion, and helped free the Dutch city of Zwolle from a 5-year occupation by using gunfire and grenades to make the enemy think that they were under attack and cause them to retreat. Leo's acts of bravery earned him the Distinguished Conduct Medal, an honor he would receive again 6 years later during the Korean War. That makes him the only Canadian who ever been awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal in 2 wars. In fact, only 2 soldiers in the entire Commonwealth have ever done that. Ask your parents why some of them nickname him the Rambo of Quebec. Private Leo Major was truly an extraordinary human being and one we must never forget. Next slide, please. Okay, so next person I'd like to introduce is Admiral Leonard Murray. Neither can we forget him, who has played a pivotal role in helping the Allies during the Second World War. The Allies are all the countries who have joined together, sharing soldiers' supplies, strategies to fight against the enemy, which at the time was Germany, Italy, and Japan. And the enemies were trying to control other nations through force, fear, and dictatorship. As the commander-in-chief of the Canadian Northwest Atlantic, Admiral Murray was the only Canadian to ever lead an Allied theater. And when we say theater, it's not where you eat popcorn and watch movies. He was actually in charge of all the other Allied nations like US, Britain, and work on different strategies in order to fight against enemies and to stop the tyranny and oppression. Leonard's exceptional leadership during the Battle of Atlantic helped make Allied victory possible. He helped protect thousands of ships against constant attack from the German U-boat, carrying troops, weapons, fuel, and supplies across the ocean. Admiral Murray also believed in giving junior officers the chance to take command and build confidence and leadership under pressure. He reflected in his memoir what a blessing it was to have bright young people to accept the kind of responsibility. I think that's a good reminder that you don't have to be old, famous, or wearing uniform to make a difference. You can always start now. Whether it's at home, in your school, in your community, or something bigger, every single one of you have the power and potential to do something amazing. And all it takes is a little bit of intention and a lot of initiative, taking action through many small steps to make a positive impact, just like what we are doing today. By taking time to listen and learn about our past, and great Canadians like Leo and Leonard, you're helping the legacy to live on. And you can carry forward their hopes for a better world. Next slide, please. Now I'd like to speak about 80th anniversary of VE Day. It's been 80 years since the Allies have finally won the grueling war to fight for the freedom against Nazi rules. We call that VE Day, which stands for Victory in Europe. Though we may not know all of the names, we remember with deepest respect and gratitude the 45,000 plus Canadians who died in the Second World War, and the many more who returned home injured, often with wounds that we cannot see. There are so many untold stories of loyalty and integrity, of compassion and commitment, of duty and discipline, resilience and resolve. Next slide, please. Actually, right now it's almost on the 11th hour, so we'll pause, wait until that time comes and we'll do the 2 minutes of silence, and then I'll carry on with the presentation. Please bow your head for the 2 minutes of silence. Thank you, everyone. So I'll finish with the remainder of the presentation. So I would like to tell you a little bit about the Canadian Armed Forces today. So values and principles that Canadian Armed Force members still live by today. We are always ready to help people in need, supporting communities through natural disasters like fires and floods, protecting Canadian sovereignty in the Arctic, working with allies and partners to build peace, security, stability throughout the globe. There are thousands of wars which CAF members serves. There's thousands of ways which CAF members are serving every day, at sea, in the air, on land, even online in space. It's not always easy, but it's immensely rewarding. We're proud to stand up for what matters, to defend Canada that we love, to be part of a team which feels like family, and to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. We draw strength from the courage and conviction of those who came before us, and we will faithfully defend the freedoms that they fought to keep our country secure. The service and sacrifice must never be forgotten. In conclusion, during Veteran Week, we recognize and celebrate the service and sacrifice of those who came before us, the diverse and deeply devoted service member who fought to keep us safe and shape our country today. Their stories, our stories, Canada's story. And whether we wear the uniform or not, we draw so much inspiration from them. By sharing their stories, we carry forward their legacy for future generations to come. When we say, lest we forget, we're making a promise to keep their story alive and to honor our veterans with our words and our actions, not just during the week, but every week. I hope you are enjoying this opportunity to learn more about our shared history and that you will do your part to keep these stories alive. Thank you so much.
Merci, Lieutenant Tang. Now, Kiara and Ayat will explain why we wear a poppy on this day.
On Remembrance Day, everyone wears a poppy as a reminder of the blood-red flower that grew on the battlefields of France and Belgium, where many soldiers gave up their lives.
Much of the fighting during World War I was done in a place called Flanders. Every spring, the soldiers in the trenches noticed that the poppies grew over the graves of their friends who had been killed.
When the war ended and the soldiers came home, they still remembered their friends who were buried in Flanders. When they thought of the graves, they remembered the poppies that grew around the graves. They decided that they would wear a poppy each year to show that they still remembered their friends.
And that tradition has continued to this day. Thanks to the millions of Canadians who wear flowers each November, the little red plant has never died. Each November, Canadians remember the 118,000 fellow citizens who died in battle.
The poppy is still also worn to remember those who were lost in peacekeeping missions as well as those soldiers who died in Afghanistan.
Thank you, Aya and Kiara. Miss Ramsey will now lead an ensemble playing the song A Wish for Peace. your mic. Press your mic.
Merci and Madame Ramsey et la musicienne. Next, Aradia and Arica will tell us about John McCrae, the man who wrote the famous poem In Flanders Field.
John McCrae was a member of the Canadian Medical Corps who went into the line at Ypres on 22nd of April 1915. For 17 days and nights, the Allies withstood wave after wave of the attacking enemy.
Lieutenant Colonel McCrae worked in dugout attending to hundreds of wounded soldiers. In time, McCrae and his unit were relieved and he wrote home, "We are weary in body and wearier in mind. The general impression in my mind is one of a nightmare."
John McCrae came from Ypres with 13 lines scrawled on a scrap of paper. The lines were a poem which started in Flanders Field, the poppies blow.
The poem first spread as a folk song by word of mouth, but now is read by many November ceremonies. The poem specifically speaks of Flanders Fields, but reminds us of brave men and women around the world who gave their lives to pursue freedom.
Merci, Aradi, and Arica. Now Dana and Noura will read In Flanders Field in English. And then a small group of grade 7 students will recite the French version, En Champ d'Honneur, which means the field of honor.
In Flanders Field, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row. That marks our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely sing fly. Scars heard amid the guns below.
We are dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, and saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields.
Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
Et de garder au fond de l'âme le goût de vivre en liberté. Accepte le défi, sinon le coquelicot se ferme au champ d'honneur.
Good job, grade 7s. At this time, Allison and Sarah will now explain the Bugle cause and their importance in Remembrance Day.
We're going to hear two bugle calls which are always sounded at this time of year. The first one is called Last Post. Last Post is played at a funeral of a soldier. It is a last farewell to a brave comrade who has given his or her life to pursue our freedom.
After the wreath has been placed, the last post will sound. There will be a period of silence during which we should all bow our heads and think about what Remembrance Day means.
Then Réveillé will sound. Réveillé is played in army camps to awaken the soldiers to their duties. Today it reminds us of heroes' entries into a new and better life that awaits all good and brave people.
While all of this is taking place, let's do our best to stay silent and take time to reflect and honor those who gave it all for us.
Merci Sarah et Allison. Now the wreath will be brought forward by Kayla.
After this, we will play Last Post. Observe 2 minutes of silence and conclude with revel.
Please stand.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old.
In 2007, Canada commemorated the 90th anniversary of the battle at Vimy Ridge. Please take your seat. In 1917, the Canadian Army achieved the goal of winning a battle at Vimy Ridge in France against the German Army at a time when the other Allied forces had failed to do so.
These were many Canadian casualties. Many young soldiers were killed and many were wounded. Since that day, Canada has been an important member of the many international military operations and peacekeeping missions. We are proud to honor the memory today.
In 2007, Canada commemorated the 90th anniversary of the battle at Vimy Ridge. At that service, the song I'm Dreaming of Home was sung. Mr. Hann will play that video now.
finish our ceremony today, selected grade 6 students will sing Je me souviens, a French song by Lady Mary Manu.
Thank you, grade 6s. That was lovely.
As you leave quietly today, you may choose to keep your poppy or may lay your poppy on our model of tomb of the unknown soldier in the front hall. This is a tradition that happens at the end of an annual Ottawa Remembrance Day ceremony and a sign of respect for the fallen.
Whatever you choose, please treat the poppy with respect.
Thank you for participating
In this solemn ceremony of remembrance.